Okay. So once again, I want to welcome everyone. We have Miss Dolores Thompson from the League of Women Voters and Miss Linda Vaughn also from the League of Women Voters. And today we're going to talk about our first step is figuring out how we get people educated and mobilized to vote, as this is a very important election year, not just for the national elections, but also for our city elections as well. And so first of all, I'm just going to ask questions to both of you guys, and you just, whoever wants to answer, feel free. So first of all, when is election day?
November the 5th, 2024.
November the 5th, 2024. And polls open at 7?
Yes, 7 to
7
7.
a.m. 7 to 7. Okay. And so in Amarillo, do you have to vote in your area or in your precinct? Like if I'm in Potter County, do I have to pick a Potter County location? And if I'm in Randall, do I have to pick a Randall County?
Yes, I would.
Yes.
Okay. And what documentation is needed for me to go and vote?
Photo ID is what is required. If you don't have a Department of Public Safety, a driver's license, you can use your passport. You can use your gun licensing. I think the military ID is available as long as it has a photo ID of you.
Okay, so what if I just have my voter registration card, but I don't have a picture ID? Will I be allowed to vote?
No, ma'am, you got to have a photo ID.
Okay. And so if I go and don't have that ID, then I'll be turned away, but I do have the opportunity to go get that required ID and come back. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay. And so when thinking about voting and the elections, why is this particular election seeming to be more, not more important, but extremely important to our country?
Each election that we have is important to our country, no matter what it is. This particular election is especially important because of some of the things that are going on in our nation. It behooves people to get involved and educate themselves so they know what they're voting for, who they're voting for. As League of Women Voters, we are nonpartisan. We don't support either candidate, but we do encourage education and ask people to get out and vote. We have a voters guide that we produce that will be produced in October that have questions and answers from all of the candidates, not national, state, and local. And they ask a specific set of questions that people can use to determine who they want to vote for. That voters guide is also, they can take it to the poll with them. And at the poll, you can't use your cell phone, but you can take a paper in there that has information about who you want to vote for, or what instances you want to vote for. So it's important for people to be informed, and that's our biggest issue, is getting people informed and registered to vote.
Okay.
You know, I think a lot of times people forget that voting gives them the power to create a positive change.
Mm-hmm.
Just like with the things that are going to be happening in our community. The League of Women Voters is having a forum. We usually have a candidates forum, but since we don't have but a few people on the ballot, we do have issues on the ballot. Mm-hmm. And it's an educational process to let people know what's going on in our community. You know, each person plays a key role in choosing who represents us. In Amarillo, Precinct 4 used to be the precinct that would carry whatever vote. For some reason, that has dropped off, and getting out to vote has been a major, major concern. But if we can get people motivated and talk it up and talk to them. I know I'm talking to the choir because everybody here on this, those of us who are here are the ones who are out there pushing all of this. But if we push it just a little bit harder everywhere we go. I was proud today, asked Ms. Thompson to come out to the park this morning. She got 2 people. I mean, with as few
Yes.
people as we had, and the majority of us were already, well, all of us were already registered. She's got two.
Mm-hmm.
So if we
Yep.
can just work on one or two at a time.
I always tell people when we do voter registration, it's good to be registered, but the important part is that you go vote.
Yes.
That's the second part of that. Everybody can get registered, but we have to go cast the ballot. And one of the things I think is important in education, many people say my vote, I don't vote because my vote won't count. And my comeback to them always is, it sure won't if you don't cast it. So you have to become involved, educated, so you can vote and make your choices available to the country.
Okay, and so particularly in this upcoming election, Amarillo is seeing a lot of issues that will be voted on: the city charter, the sanctuary city topic. Where can people go to find information about those things? I know that the voter guide will come out in about October, but if I were watching this on Facebook or watching it from our website, and I wanted to go ahead and get educated and start creating my, educating myself, is there any place that I could go to start finding that information?
Well, the city council has meetings about those very things. People are there. And so you can go to the city website, to the city council meetings and minutes, and you'll find the propositions and proposals on those websites. They are hard to read because there are a lot of legalese on there, but at least you can go and hear or see the documents themselves at city council. You can pull those documents up.
And on October 17th, we will be having a forum with those issues being talked about. We are nonpartisan, so it's not one way or another. We're just going to tell you what each one of those things talks about.
Mm-hmm.
And at this event, because I know that you guys do a lot of education, and I know that we had an event a while ago where people could create slates. Do you guys encourage them to go ahead and create those while you're talking to them, or is that something that you can't do, or is that something that people could help with? I think people forget that, like, when they're in the moment and they're learning about it, they forget, and then they need something written down that they can take with them. So is that something that you guys show them how to do, show them what's acceptable and what's not acceptable?
We have talked about it.
Go ahead, Linda.
We've talked about the voter's guide. In our voter's guide, we will have the issues listed. And if people will take that voter's guide while it's being talked about and circle or write beside it or whatever their thoughts are, I think that would be a big help. They will be there the night of the forum. And I think that, and as Ms. Thompson said, they can take it in the booth with them. And if they have it written down, to have it written in my face, I can remember it.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm just pulling on my memory, something's gonna be left behind.
The League of Women Voters also has a website, vote411.org. And they will put up the voters guide there. That's the state voters guide, but it'll have all the candidates there as well. People can find out, they put their address in, they can find out where they can go vote, polling places they can go to, and they can also print that same ballot for that whatever election or race they want to do. They can print it from that website and carry that into the polling place as well.
Okay, so for people who might think, well, if I take my voter's guide in there and I'm flipping through it, that may distract people, or that may be somebody might say something to me. You guys are saying that they can take the entire voter's guide in there that's pre-marked with who they want to vote for.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, that's fantastic to know. Okay, and what about people that have a criminal background? If I am a felon or have been convicted of a felony offense and have served all my time and I'm not on probation and I'm not on parole, can I vote, or is it still I cannot vote?
You can vote. If you've finished your probation, all your paper, your time, you're eligible to vote. So you can get registered and be able to go vote.
Okay. And are there any other things that would prevent anybody from voting?
Yeah.
A non-citizen cannot vote.
Non-citizen, yeah, non-citizen.
If you're, like you said, if you're convicted of a felony and you have not done everything is not taken care of, then you cannot vote. And if you have a mental disability, you may not be able to vote, but those are according to state rules. Those are the 3 reasons that you cannot.
I think they will turn you away as well if your ID has expired. So if your form of ID has expired and isn't current, they will let you use an expired ID now.
I have a thing. It's in my voter registration thing in the car, particularly for senior citizens that don't have driver's license.
Yes.
And it's expired.
Yes.
Senior citizens, they let them use those because I helped some of those senior citizens at retirement homes use those.
Yes. And that was going to be my next statement, is that's the one exception I've seen, is that when they're when they have voters who are retired and don't drive any longer, but they still have their driver's license, they will let them use that. I wanted to ask for clarification. When you're voting, as I understand it, you have to vote in your county, but they have not been successful in limiting it to where you have to vote in your assigned precinct. Am I correct
that is true.
about
You
that?
can vote
Okay.
at any Potter County or Randall County polling place. You
Go
can
ahead,
vote
Ms.
there.
Dolores.
Long as it's your county.
Oh, she froze on us. Ms. Vaughn, can you talk about that?
As long as it's in your county. As long as it's in your county, if you're a Randall County citizen, any of the polling places in Randall County. If you're Potter County, any of the Potter County polling places.
And I was able to hear Ms. Thompson, so I think it may be in the recording as well. So.
Okay, good.
I want to talk about early voting, y'all. Early voting starts October the 21st till November the
is it 1st?
November 1st, yeah. At our polling places, well, not all of them, but I know this polling place is going to be Santa Fe, Casey Carpet. Jesus, I can't remember now.
What's the right over here on the boulevard of
Cornerstone.
Yeah, Cornerstone.
Cornerstone. And there's another, was 4 of them. I can't remember right now.
Is it United out there at Amigos? Is it?
No, I don't think it's United.
No.
Oh,
it's
not United.
Maybe the fairground.
Yeah, I think it's the fairground.
So those are early voting polling places, and early voting starts October the 21st to November the 1st. And that's a good time for people to go vote. The lines aren't long, and this is going to be a powerful election this year. So, if you want to vote, that's a good time to do it early voting, get it done and get it over with before November the 5th.
Okay. Sorry about that. My computer froze. I have one question. A lady reached out to me yesterday, and she is not going to be in Amarillo on election day. How do people go about getting an absentee ballot? And if they do go to the Santa Fe building, is there somebody there that will help them print the application and make sure that it's correct and all those types of things?
Yes, there is. And people can go on the website, votetexas.org, and fill out that and print it and mail it in. And you can do it at the Santa Fe building or any of the Randall County Annex or down in Kenyon. So yes, there's somebody that can help them do that.
Okay.
And Dolores, Haley asked a question. For some reason, I'm not able to get back to the chat, but she just finished her VDR.
I can ask. Yeah, I can ask real quick.
Yes,
and you two forgive me if I'm incorrect, but I just did the VDR training today, and I thought it had said if you're 70 or older, there are no kind of restrictions on if you have an expired license. And then
Yeah.
other than that, I thought that it had said that your license or ID could be expired up to 4 years.
I think you're correct. I couldn't, that
Okay.
didn't pop in my brain,
Yeah.
but I knew senior
It
citizens.
just was
didn't
fresh
have a-
on my, yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, that's probably correct.
And we definitely want people to know that, because if our poll workers don't have correct information or have been had incorrect information planted that will confuse them, they may turn away a voter without necessarily intending to, maybe not maliciously, maybe maliciously, I can say that. But they, people need to understand and know that that is the case.
Okay.
Good point.
Well, if my license is expired for up to 4 years, I can still use it as my identification.
That's
Right.
what the law says.
But if I'm over 70, it can be expired. There's no time limit.
Right.
Right.
Okay. Okay, just wanted to clarify that. Okay. And so, do you guys know of any of the propositions or any of the maybe hot topics that are going to be on the ballot locally coming up?
The revisions to the city charter will be on the local ballot.
As
So
well as sanctuary city.
as sanctuary of the city, yes.
And why is the charter important?
Wow, is it?
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're making want to make serious changes, like to the term limits of office of the mayor and the city council members. They had a big issue about recall when they were talking about that issue. And at one point there was even an issue about having representatives from different areas of the city, but I don't believe that's going to come across on the.
I don't think that that's going to stay on there.
It's not coming across at all.
So they had talked about maybe their version of single member districts, and we don't think that that's going to be on there at all?
No.
I think they took that off.
They took it off. That came off. That was on the original proposal from the committee who were studying the city charter, but the council members and mayor took that one off.
That's interesting. And
It
are they
was interesting.
are they still considering growing the council to, what is it, 6 council members and a mayor?
6.
Yes.
Is it 6 members and the mayor?
I think it's 6 and the mayor, and then talking about oh, my mind just
the term limits will be from 2 years to 4 years, and they will rotate.
Staggering.
There's a schedule so they can have a staggering rotation out. Because like this year we had all new members of a city council.
Mm-hmm.
Brand new city council. Nobody knew anything. The mayor did. He'd been on the council before, but otherwise we had a totally new city council who had no idea about city government at all. I mean, unless they were following it. So this, I think that'll be a good thing, because we won't face that issue again. I think because they're staggered, there'll be somebody that have some history or some knowledge about what's going on.
And how would that affect those who are currently in office? If it says that, they can stay longer in office, would that go into effect immediately?
I haven't read it close enough, and I think that's what the October 17th thing will take care of, those type of questions. When we send out the information asking questions, and Madam President, if you would, those questions that you are asking, if you would forward those questions on to me, I can put them in, make sure they get answered.
Okay.
Because those are excellent questions, and they're questions that everybody in this city needs to hear and know the answers to.
Mm-hmm.
It would be so wonderful if we had that auditorium full of people. I'm
really expecting it to be, because we're gonna have 4 security people.
Well, okay.
Where is it gonna be at?
At the Virgil Patterson Auditorium in the Happy State Bank.
Downtown.
On October 17th at 6:00.
6:30.
6:30.
Give people time to get off, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll have snacks so you don't have to worry about starving to death. Because I tell you, it's tough being at work and then coming straight to some place and then staying to 8:30 or so.
Okay. Okay, so that's good to know. When you guys get a flyer for that, if you'll pass that on to us, we'll make sure that we get it on our social media as well as on our website also.
Excellent. Thank you.
Good idea.
So then when we look to national politics, and I know that all organizations on this call are nonpartisan.
Nonpartisan.
Correct. So, right. So, why is this national election seeming to be one that is getting, it almost looks like it's getting the younger population excited again about voting? Do you guys agree with that? And if so, what do you think is different?
In my 75 years of life, I've never seen anything happen like this one has, this election term. So this is entirely something new in our election in the United States. Nobody's ever seen this happen before, maybe when Lyndon Johnson stepped down. But nobody's ever seen this. The people that are voting, the young generation, they know nothing about Lyndon Johnson stepping down. So this is an entirely different election process this year. And I think that's where the excitement's coming from.
Okay. And recently,
young people to vote.
Yes, young people to vote. And so for young people, we have consistently talked about that. And now we're seeing this kind of rush of these younger people. How do you guys see that the NAACP could work to help mobilize these younger generations? Is it education sessions? Is it teaching them how to use the voting booth? Is it what do you think could be not the magical trick to get them all to vote, but just to keep them excited and get them encouraged and get them out to vote?
I think it's talking. I think it's just the talking to. Actually, I think it's letting them talk.
Got a point there.
And I think, to me, I think their key issues is the economy, the climate, and guns. I think those are the main issues that young people that I've talked to, that younger, and when I'm saying young people, I mean people who are the 20s, 30s, and 40s. You know, they want jobs that pay a living wage, and how they're going to get them. And I personally, I think that those 21 plus, you're going to have more of them likely to vote now. And I think do y'all think, this is just me, I think it's the hype that has happened. I really do. I think the excitement has mobilized them, because now they think that something is going to happen that will benefit them.
They have a candidate. It couldn't be their grandpa.
Right.
I agree. That's a lot of
okay.
The ages. I think the ageism was a big issue for their not tuning in, not getting there. But this is changed, and you're right, Jerry. The ages. I think that's their grandpas not voting. I mean, I agree.
Haley, did you have a question?
Yes, I just wanted to share a little bit, just my perspective relating it back to our branch is something that Monique and I are trying to do is strategize and start getting into the high schools to recruit students to be brought to council and discuss issues that's led by them, which is so important, like y'all said. And my hope, and one of the motivating factors for doing the registration, the voter registration training, is to hopefully from those meetings just network and spread the word about voting and actually get some of the really young voters, like maybe that just turned 18 or about to turn 18. I know
Well,
that's something Monique and I've talked about. It's really important for us to do as far as our branch and enacting the youth branch as well.
Okay.
we have I need to say this about the League of Women Voters. My hand is up.
Mhm.
We are planning some voter registration opportunities for seniors, and we've been doing that for the last 3-4 years, to meeting with senior groups and getting get them registered to vote.
That's
So
great.
we have three opportunities. I don't have it right in front of me. That we're going to go to, I think, Tascosa, Paladura, and Amarillo High, maybe Caprock, to do voter registration. And we've been doing that for several years now, reaching these students in
wow, I
their
didn't know that.
government and history classes. So if you're interested, contact Bob is our
Bob is the, yeah,
um,
it used to be
scheduling voter
Jamie,
registration.
but
We're always in need of voter VDRs, because we don't have
Okay,
enough
great.
to go around. So
Right.
Is it possible, and I know that the youth probably couldn't serve as the VDR, but could we identify some youth that could carry the message and encourage them, and then you guys register them to vote? Just because when you have older people, even myself, going in and saying, hey, you need to vote, that's one thing. But if it's some of their peers saying, this is very
Right.
important, we need to vote. Has the League of Women Voters looked into doing any kind of things like that to maybe recruit some younger people?
Jamie has, in the past, we've done a simulated voting day, so they know how to work the machines and stuff. But to actually use young people to go in and hype them up, we haven't done that because they aren't VDRs.
and because and another thing, you have to realize civics is honestly not being taught in school.
Not at all.
It is not being taught. We have got to educate. We got to do some mini civics lessons.
Okay.
There are many. There's a wonderful website. And forgive my and after Dolores talking about 75, 72 is bad enough. I can't think. It's something about growing voters, and I can't. For the life of me, I can't remember it, but I know it's about growing voters.
Okay.
And it's talking about young people, starting them as young as kindergarten, I think. Talking about civics. They don't use it in those terms, but they build each year, it builds on it. And I don't know how we grab those kids.
I can remember
because right now we just do because we do seniors in government and economics classes. That's who we meet. That's where we are when we go do voter registration. So these students have come all the way through the school system and really don't understand civics at all, other than they're 18 and their teacher say you need to get registered to vote. So we go do that.
I can remember being in third grade when it was the Carter and Ford election, I believe. And I remember us having a mock election in my third grade class, and that sticks with me to this day. I mean, and I'm way too old to be remembering anything from third grade. But I remember two things. One was that, and the other was that our teacher read us the Little House on the Prairie books every day. So, those two things I brought away from third grade. Ms. Armstrong did good. But it's a shame that we don't spend, I feel like our teachers are so overwhelmed with teaching
They're
for
overwhelmed
tests.
with test.
Yeah,
With
and
tests.
we
You can't
don't
teach.
offer the opportunity for our kids, and I also feel like sometimes we dismiss how smart our kids are and how much they can learn and retain and will take with them forward if we teach those lessons young.
True.
And it doesn't have to be a big something. It's just little stuff that you put in with your regular day-to-day things. Like my grandchildren, they know the importance of voting. because I'm constantly talking about, oh my gosh, I am so glad that my one vote counts. And then that passes on. I think that's what we've got. If we can't grab a whole group of them, we grab 2 or 3 at a time.
You know, I always, when I would do voter registration in high school, I'd always tell students, now you need to pay attention to what's going on. And I'd always say, you get to decide how you want to vote. You don't have to vote like your parents, your grandparents, your uncles, your aunties. You get to decide to make your own mind up. And I think that empowered some of them to know that they could do that. They could make their own minds up. I don't know if it made a difference, but it sure helps them think about it.
Okay. So as you guys are talking, of course, my brain is just going to all these different things, but I know that League of Women Voters offers the civics class, and you guys are looking for places to host those classes, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
So what if we partnered together and at the Culture Center, we held a civics class for those who are 25 and under, so 18 to 25. And throughout that class, we talked to them about the importance of them voting. And I don't know, maybe we give them a shirt that says, I'm ready to vote, I'm ready to change the world, or something that would then empower them, that they could take with them so that people could see what they did and maybe start to ask them questions.
I think that's so great.
That is a wonderful idea.
And we could provide them breakfast, because I think it's just a morning session, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so maybe we bring them to the Culture Center. We say get there at 9. We have breakfast from like 9 to 9:30, and then we go a little bit afternoon. But we can actually talk about issues that are important to them, or present both sides of the issue. Because we're all nonpartisan, we could say, okay, so this is the charter. So this is what the charter means this way, and this is what it means this way. Or this is what Sanctuary City means on this side, and this is what it means on this side. And because they don't teach critical thinking skills either in school anymore.
No, they don't.
And so there are 30 and 45-year-olds who don't have critical thinking skills. But if we could maybe get this target population, maybe that's something that would take off like wildfire. And maybe we have it over here in North Heights and invite everybody, but then maybe the barrio comes up and they're like, well, let's have one here, and we do it over there. But then it just maybe continues to increase the number of people who are encouraged about voting.
Sounds like a good idea. Then I don't want to do Debbie Downer, but school is starting in a minute. And yeah, we need to get that done pretty good. You know, these kids will get involved and they won't be coming on a Saturday morning.
Right.
So
who would I have to go through, like Bob to get something like that scheduled, or is there could I go through you ladies, or?
I would go through Michelle or Jenny, the presidents, and let them, y'all could work together, and we can, I'm sure you have Michelle, you got Michelle's number. Okay. Well, I think if you contact Michelle, she can get with Jenny, because Jenny's always so busy, but she'll make it happen, and y'all can see what, I think that is a wonderful idea.
Okay. And I think us making it exclusive to 25 and under, I think that does something for the encouragement of people to come.
Yeah.
Like it's just something for us, And I don't know, Jerry, we could get some door prizes donated. We could do something. We'll do something to encourage them to get there. So yeah, okay. I'll reach out to Michelle and see what we can do. We're almost out of time, so
okay. Sorry.
Oh no, this has been excellent conversation. We have needed this. We are going to put this on our Facebook and hopefully continue to share it, and hopefully continue to spark conversations about these things, because what I've seen in my time is that there's no place that we can sit down and have a thoughtful discussion about voting and about the importance of it. And also, we have not been in a position where we can disagree with each other and still be friends after that disagreement.
I know.
Yeah,
It's
I want to stay
amazing.
fridge.
Right? It's like you're on this side and you're left and I'm right, and I don't like you because of that.
And I'm not gonna come to the middle.
But I think we have a unique opportunity if we start figure out a way to get everybody together, that we can start to rebuild that table, and at that table everybody has a voice at that table.
I think that's wonderful.
Okay,
If we
so
only had someone that could help people understand how to argue effectively, or more, more balanced arguments, that would be perhaps something we could include in that.
Something from maybe the Dispute Resolution Center at Panhandle Regional Planning Commission.
Maybe.
No debate classes anymore.
yeah, no debate. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have the debate classes. Yeah, not, or
We
at least it's
don't.
competitive debate instead of, it's
Instead of
at high speed
actual
stuff instead
debate.
of real. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think we have a unique opportunity has come from this conversation that we've had today to really do some impactful work. I think what we're about 122
90 something days from election.
Yes, from the election. I don't even know if it's 100 anymore. Maybe under.
It's not 100. It's 80. So 80
It's
something.
not.
90?
Yeah, yes, 90 out.
Is it 90 something or less than 90?
I can't think how to November. I don't even remember.
It's too. I can't add that fast. But
That fast.
Okay, so we're less than 100 days away,
yes.
and even less than, because people have to be registered before October 5th in order to participate in the election. So
Yes.
we need to continue this collaboration, continue talking about it, continue educating ourselves, and I don't know, just start posting to social media and getting people involved and active and excited about the changes that could happen, because I love seeing these kids all fired up.
87 days. Okay.
87
Yeah,
days.
87 days.
Okay. I knew it was less than.
We can do a lot in that amount of time. And so Ms. Vaughn and Ms. Dolores, if somebody wanted to participate in the League of Women Voters, how could they possibly go about doing that?
You can register online.
Okay.
You can become a member online at the League of Women Voters of Amarillo. It's simple as that, or you can ask one of us and we'll get you a membership card.
Okay. And just a plug for these civics classes that you guys are looking to be hosting around anywhere. We got the email from the listserv stating that y'all were looking for places to have the classes. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about what the classes entail and who we need to contact to make that happen?
I didn't see that. Claudia Stravado usually is
yes.
Over
She's
those
our
classes.
first
So
vice
Claudia
president over those classes.
She's Claudia Stravado is the person to contact, but know the schedule, because I don't know it personally.
Okay. And in these classes, they learn about because I attended one, but can you guys tell us, do you know a little bit about what they're teaching them? It's more than just the voting, but it kind of goes into the background. Is that correct?
Yes, it's almost like a civics class of what it all entails and how it's important to them.
Okay.
Branches of government, what they do.
Okay. And is it the 3 hour, 4 hour?
I don't know what she cut it down to.
I don't know what she's gotten it to now.
Me either. Okay. It was a 3 or 4 hour thing, but I thought she was going to cut it down some, but I don't know that. So you'd have to talk to her about it.
Okay, I will reach out to Ms. Stravado about that and just get more information. That also is something that, Bill, if we can get that on our Facebook and on our website, we are going to be working together with you guys to mobilize people to vote this year. And I believe that that's a powerful partnership that we have. So before we close out, does anybody have any further questions or comments or concerns, things that we didn't touch on?
Other than our November voting.
November the 5th.
For the branch.
Oh,
yes. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Okay. So we will close out that first part of the meeting talking about the elections. Ms. Dolores, are you part of you're part of the NAACP?
No, I'm not a member, but I'm gonna listen.
Okay.
We need to fix that.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
we need to fix that. Yeah.